The skies, the fields, and the marshes at Paul Davis Farm on the Pamunkey River are covered with geese during the winter months. Obviously, wildlife like it here, but a closer look at those fields will show a lot of research and data management is being used to develop just the right cover crops to increase the productivity of the farm soils. Davis Produce is one of many farms in Virginia that uses a certified RMP, or resource management plan, to consolidate a number of conservation programs. Davis is a retired Virginia Cooperative Extension agriculture agent and has been using best management practices on his own land for more than a decade.
Making time to do intensive soil sampling, making time to come back over your crop 3 or 4 times to split your nitrogen application, that's important. To be able to make time to scout your field for insects, weeds, and diseases. All of that takes time, but you get to know your crop, you get to spend time with it. There's always a better way, and be willing to listen and to get out there and try it.
Virginia's resource management plans were rolled out in July of 2014 as part of the state's Chesapeake Bay Watershed Implementation Plan. The plans are a way for farmers to voluntarily document the best practices they're already using in exchange for a 10-year exemption from new environmental regulations. But its real focus is a hands-on analysis of what farmers are already doing and what's working for them.
When the planner comes out to investigate the property or to develop the plan, he looks for all of the practices that are being installed here voluntarily and those things that address soil and water conservation needs. So he looks, particularly on this farm, we would be looking at buffers. We would be looking at the use of no-till. We'd be looking at the use of conservation tillage. We'd be looking at the use of cover crops, nutrient management. So really the planner is trained to spot these practices, to ask questions of the farmer of those practices, and then he just documents those things.
Davis Produce is located on a key tributary river of the Chesapeake Bay. He grew up on the land, fishing, hunting, trapping, and swimming. Some of his fields use a combination of up to 4 winter cover crops. Farmers like him use a lot of science to balance the needs of their crops with protecting the land and waterways.
Well, I think the whole thing starts with a good yield monitor system on your combine. And based on your yield that's coming off your crops, you can determine your soil productivity. You can determine or collect your nutrient losses, what has been removed. And from that, with soil samples, you can determine what your next nutrient application could be. Then you, with that yield monitor, you know, and maps, you know what populations you should plant.
As part of his individual RMP, Davis and Wallace have developed yield maps for his fields. Using global positioning technology, the combine syncs harvest data with a precise spot on each field every 2 seconds. Just one yield map contains over 36,000 individual data points. After collecting several years of data, Davis says trends start to emerge. These allow him to adjust his fertilizer and seed rates automatically the next time the planter goes over the field. Each year, more data is collected, allowing him and other farmers to improve their practices from season to season. Tools and techniques like this are just part of many resource management plans.
There are new things on the horizon that come available on a regular basis. And don't be afraid of that technology. And if you don't have somebody within your operation that is capable of using that technology, find somebody, hire somebody. That technology is making money. And I know that it is because we've done the test case right here on the Davis farm, and we know that it's improving their efficiency and it's improving their bottom line.
Virginia's resource management plans have already exceeded the state's original goals to protect the Chesapeake Bay. More than 92,000 acres throughout the state are now included in more than 388 RMPs. More farmers are enrolling in the program each growing season. Best of all, it's a voluntary effort, showing that many farmers are concerned with improving water quality in the Chesapeake Bay and using every tool they have to do so. In New Kent County, Virginia, this is Dave Miller.